The A's road to the World Championship on News 10 tonight at 11.
This sparkling jewel in South Bend, Indiana is a cradle of football memories. Home to the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Their legend lives in the immortal names. Coach Knute Rockne, a storied backfield known as the Four Horsemen. It's a brand of pageantry that simply means tradition. The Fighting Irish have evolved into college football's most famous team, and today they hope to write another chapter. The Miami Hurricanes are the nouveau riche of college football. They are the team of the 80s, winning 2 national championships in the last 5 years. They are still #1, and today they will take on all of Notre Dame's tradition and seek their 37th straight regular season victory. 2 teams, 2 eras are about to clash. #1 Miami plays #4 Notre Dame on CBS. CBS welcomes you to the biggest game so far of the 1988 college football season. #1 Miami and unbeaten Notre Dame. When you come to Notre Dame to play football, you dream of Saturday afternoons like this. Gorgeous weather, the Golden Dome sparkling in the background, sellout crowd at Notre Dame Stadium. And when you play football at Miami, these are the kind of games you can't wait to play. Inside the stadium, it's the toughest ticket in sport this weekend. All morning long, fans have been milling around outside Notre Dame Stadium. Actually, ever since last year when Miami beat Notre Dame 24-0 down in the Orange Bowl here in South Bend and throughout the Midwest, Notre Dame fans have been waiting for this rematch. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. I'm Brent Musburger. You really don't have to build this one up very much, do you? You know how high the stakes are. Miami to win back-to-back national championships needs this one. Notre Dame to get back to the top, they have to beat the Hurricanes. You also know that there have been hostilities between these 2 schools. Bad feelings. They feel Miami ran up the score. And, of course, Miami reacting angrily the way Jimmy Johnson's telephone number was published. Short time ago, the coaches meeting at midfield, shaking hands. We thought the hostilities had died. But then, as the Hurricanes were leaving the field, an ugly few moments down there in the end zone. Pushing and shoving broke out. There was some kicking. Police had to step in, and finally the Hurricanes were escorted back inside their locker room. So I guess we can truthfully say, as we get ready for this game, these 2 teams still don't like each other. Let's bring in Pat Hayden right now. Pat, you know, 4 straight victories by Miami over Notre Dame. They have beaten the Irish by a total score of 133-20. Simply put, is Notre Dame better equipped?
Well, I think they are, and really it's the talent gap between the 2 schools has been closed dramatically over the last 4 years, and the Irish will field their fastest team in school history on the field today, and that's what you need when you play Miami. Great athletes who can run.
Pat, you and I have talked about the importance of the 2 quarterbacks now. Let's start with young Tony Rice at Notre Dame.
Well, he has been an accomplished runner for Notre Dame the past 2 years. He got off to a slow start throwing the ball early this year, but it's come on strongly the last 2 weeks, throwing the ball very accurately, and that's the key, Brent. Can he complete those short possession-type passes to keep drives alive?
Pat, you can quote all the stats you want about quarterbacks, but I'll give you one about Steve Walsh. 16-0 as a starting quarterback. That's all you need to know about him.
Well, I think you judge a quarterback by how many times he brings his team from behind and if he can win big games. Steve Walsh has done that at Miami. The thing is, people don't seem to be able to get pressure on him, and if you can't put a rush on him, what he does is sit back in that pocket and carves you apart. He can put 4 or 5 touchdowns on the board.
Pat, I mentioned it was glorious weather here in South Bend. Observant fans have seen our hair blowing around. Yes, the wind will be a factor in this ball game. Busy Saturday. Let's check in with Jim Nantz to find out what else is going on. Take it away, Jim.
All right, thank you, Brent. As we get set for the big one in South Bend, a surprise in the making right now in the top 10. It involves number 8, South Carolina. The Gamecocks 6-0 on the season. Look at this, receiving a jolt from Georgia Tech in the first half. Todd Ellis has thrown 3 interceptions in that one. 14th ranked and unbeaten Wyoming, tied up by New Mexico. The Lobos 1-5 on the year, scoring on a 79-yard pass play. 20th ranked Florida. The Gators have just scored to start the second half, missed the extra point. Vandy leads. Now, Emmitt Smith is out for at least a month because of a banged-up knee suffered a week ago. Only 65 yards rushing to this point by the Gators. They trail Vanderbilt on the road. And as we get set for Notre Dame and Miami, last night the baseball teams from these two schools squared off amidst a World Series atmosphere in South Bend.
It might be, it could be, it is. Harry Carey throwing out the first pitch last night. Miami opened up a big lead, but this 2-run homer by Mike Rothkus of the Fighting Irish cut the Hurricanes' margin to 6-3 in the 6th. Then in the bottom of the 9th, with 1 out and the bases loaded, James Sass, a former football player with the Irish, walked to force in the winning run as the Irish rallied with a 3-run 9th, just like they drew it up in the game plan.
Coach Holtz gave us a little game plan. I just told, hey, Murph, go out there and do it. Tell the kids that they can do it. Tell them they can win.
So chalk that up as a big upset by the Notre Dame baseball team. Now these two schools will clash in football. We'll rejoin Brent and Pat at Notre Dame Stadium after this message and a word from your local station.
This is CBS.
Niners meet the Rams Sunday at 1 on Channel 10.